Yeah, I mean, I think Mark
speaking
is
as
right.
a Democrat.
I'm a loyal Democrat, but I am not happy. I just think that we are, we did not listen to voters in this election, and I think we're going to have a bad night. And this conversation is not going to have much impact on Tuesday, but I hope it has an impact going forward. Because when voters tell you over and over and over again that they care mostly about the economy, listen to them. Stop talking about democracy being at stake. Democracy is at stake because people are fighting so much about what elections mean. I mean, voters have told us what they wanted to hear, and I don't think Democrats have really delivered this cycle.
What's going on, everyone? Talks with Kenny here today. We'll be not reacting, but I want to give my thoughts on election day. Blood moon coming on tonight. A red wave is supposedly going to happen, and so far so good, I guess. So I'm just gonna react to some news, give my comments throughout the news, and then I'll give my thoughts on how I think the midterms is gonna go tonight. By the time you're watching this video, it should be November 8th. So let's get into it. Democrats strategist Hillary Rosen predicted disastrous results for her party, and she said that they only have themselves to blame after repeatedly failing to listen to voters. Yeah, I agree with that commentary because honestly, Democrats did it to themselves. They had bad economic policies, which led us to this environment with inflation, recession. We're in a recession, in my opinion. I don't. Everything else is just you just trying to deny that the house is on fire, right? In weeks and months leading up to the Tuesday's midterm elections. So she has a panel, and I'm not going to go into this, but I've been a loyal Democrat, but I am not happy. I just think that we did not listen to voters in this election, and I think we're going to have a bad night, right? And there's some people like it's crazy, right? Rogan predicts midterm red wave. People are sick of the woke ideology being rammed down their throats, and yes, I agree. As a parent, as an individual, I'm tired of identity politics, CRT. None of this stuff really matters because at the end of the day, crime, inflation, like crime, the economy, immigration affects us way more than anything this woke ideology claims that they're trying to fix, right? Joe Rogan hosts a Joe Rogan Experience response to leftists criticizing his prediction that Republicans are going to win in a blowout next week because people are sick and tired of wokeness being rammed down their throats. Rogan said earlier this week that he thinks the midterms are going to be like the elevator doors opening in The Shining. I think so too. And you cannot deny that it's not a cool, like it's almost like God is saying, hey, it's gonna be a red wave, blood moon tonight. Oh my God, it's just I feel very optimistic. I could be wrong, but I give it 90% chance. Now, how much seats we're gonna get, I'm not sure. Now, there's the record of like a lack of enthusiasm on the Democratic side. Republicans have all the winning issues, including Biden and Harris. They don't consume a room. As you guys may or may not know, Biden came here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and 2 hours after he came, gave a speech at a local campus there. People started trending even more Republican. So he and Kamala are having the opposite effect. I think even Obama was down here as well, trying to boost up morale for the Democratic Party in Florida. But like Florida's, I think it's red as it can get. Like I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think Ron DeSantis might win by 12 points. I might be overestimating, but for sure 10. I'll be surprised if Ron DeSantis doesn't get 10% more votes than Charlie Crist. But any day we are getting our speculation here. We won't know until the end of tonight. At least in Florida, I'll know. The other states, y'all take 3 days, 4 days, 5 days to count your votes. I already know. I think Ron DeSantis has the advantage in early voting right now. It's like a slight edge, but I don't know. We'll see. White House walked back Biden's remarks about shutting down coal plants after Manchin nuked him. And this is one of the points I kind of wanted to make because I think Joe Manchin and Sinema saved the Democratic Party. Because remember how they wanted to blow up the filibuster? And Joe Manchin and Sinema was vehemently against it. They was like, no, we're not going to blow up the filibuster. And look, now it saved their butts. Because now imagine, they put it like this is political lean left. And I just wanted to give because, I want to balance out my perspective, right? all those other four articles I went through was kind of like right leaning, so I went to a left leaning one to kind of balance out my perspective. They have here that it's a toss up for the Senate. In God's green earth, what makes you think it's a toss up? To me, this should be a lean right, but hey, whatever, right? These guys will say whatever they want to say. So, in my view, Arizona should be a lean GOP because Carrie Lake has all the momentum behind her. Her opponent doesn't even want to debate her. Come on, she's in front of the news. Media attention is all over her. She has CNN host criticizing her. This is forgot who she was running against, but her Democratic opponent. I don't even know her Democratic opponent. That's how much the news has just been. Arizona's just been all about Carrie Lake, Carrie Lake, Carrie Lake. So this should be, to my view, a lean GOP, if they're being honest. Nevada too. Georgia, I feel like Georgia's a likely GOP because I think 2022 was a one-off. Like, I just think it was like circumstantial. This is the only reason they got the vote. But hey, I could be wrong here. Now, one race I kind of want to talk about is New York. I think this should be a toss-up. At least a lean Democrat, because based on what was said in the first article, we're going to have a bad night, especially with this lady when crime is a big issue in New York. And I really honestly think that this is a toss-up. So is Illinois, I believe, too. That's just my personal opinion, because I know crime is a big factor in these two Democratic states. Like, crime is out of control, especially in California as well. I think this will be a likely Dem, but I don't think, to me, with all the momentum surrounding the Republican Party, I wouldn't feel comfortable having anything here in the solid red. That's just me. Honestly. And do I see any upsets coming along? I don't see any upsets really that I'm not aware of from the Republican side. But yeah, they have a lot of these races as toss-ups. When, like, Arizona to me is likely red. Pennsylvania, I don't know much about Pennsylvania politics. 2020, I thought like Republicans was going to win that state, and Joe Biden won it. So I agree with them on their toss-up status with Pennsylvania. But as in Arizona and Georgia, I think those are likely red, especially with Brian Kemp, Stacey Abrams. I keep forgetting her name. Stacey Abrams. Yeah, she's not an appealing politician at all. Like, I think someone, like, one of there was a video out there of a black man complaining about her contract to black men had nothing specifically targeting them. It was just mostly in general, pro family. That was about it. Entrepreneurship, and then minorities. So it was more of like in a general listing. So I don't know how she's going to really go on with that. Meanwhile, Republicans are in the hunt for Colorado and Washington State. I agree with this assessment. I think this is going to still be lean Democrat, but I think Senate-wise, Republican, and this is the toss-up. I'll leave this as a toss-up. I don't know much about the other two races here, New Hampshire and I believe that's Wisconsin. But in my gut feeling, I think these two it's like a lean Dem. I think that's how well the Republicans would perform. Best case scenario, it becomes a red state. But I don't think this is a toss-up. I don't think the Senate will remain Democratic. I just think, it's like not living in reality. Like, I don't think at this day and age right now with all of I don't know. I'm biased. Obviously I'm biased, but I don't see it. The top three issues, Democrats got nothing. I just think maybe 55 seats in the Senate. I'm going 55. Like, maybe there's a flip. I'll go 55. House, is it like the safe majority? Like, in my mind, if I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm like, oh, Republicans got the House, I'll be like, oh, that was not like a non-negotiable. Yeah. And then the Senate, I want the Senate to have a supermajority just because I want the Republicans having the power to have veto-proof bills, because I already know what's going to happen. We're going to have them in a deadlock if Republicans don't get 60 votes. And I don't think that's likely, because with Sinema and Manchin, they could turn the ties if they're still in. But knowing if I'm saying Arizona's going red, Cinema's not going to be there anymore. At least I don't think so. But hey, I can be wrong. But one of the things I also wanted to point out too, as I give my thoughts about midterms, is that Republicans, the jobs ain't finished. Like, you guys get in. I think the first thing they should worry about is addressing the concerns of Americans having to deal with inflation. I think the best thing they can do with their bills is to cut back on taxes, return more of the money into Americans' hands. I think they should really pace themselves with the Ukraine stuff, because I think this inflation is like, it's going out of control. Like, honestly, and but I honestly don't know. Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, we need to make Joe Biden lame duck president, because this is ridiculous, man. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a deadlock. Like, I guess they'll balance each other out, but at this point, I don't want the government doing any more damage. We tried the Democrats' way. We try to transform society, and you transform it for the worst. You build it back better for the worst. And yeah, Joe Biden, you deserve not to have any power at all. You deserve to be a lame duck president, honestly. And you guys do this to yourselves every single time, because Democrats have this bad habit of being my way or the highway. That it seems like they can't work in a bipartisan manner to get stuff done for the American people, because in the day, in my view, the Democrats are not for the American people. They're just for themselves, and American people are just pawns to keep and control their power. That's it. That's all it is. That's why they keep fear mongering about threats to democracy instead of solving issues and problems that's affecting Americans. But hey, I digress. Hey, give me your guys' thoughts. Give me your predictions. Anything, give me more context. If you're from states that are toss-ups or likely Dems, give me your thoughts about what you think is going to happen tonight. And I'll probably be watching Ben Shapiro and during election night. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but hey, let me guys know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be welcome to hear it. Give you guys your perspective on things and what you think how tonight's gonna go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.